Hey guys, so it's Jin here, and I watched Parasite today. It was the film that won like a couple of Nobel Prizes this year. Well, I have a lot to say about this film. When I watched it, this movie was pretty uncomfortable to watch. It was similar to the way how I felt when I watched the Joker. The reason why is because the Joker and Parasite has a similarity where they approach a certain, I guess, problem in society around a similar way. It just creates this very uncomfortable vibe because obviously, first of all, it's pretty relatable. Throughout the whole movie, I had the sense of where I was really confused on how I should feel about each of the family that the movie portrays. So the main family is the Park family, which is the rich family, and the Kims, which is the dirt poor family. The movie basically really just shows the whole dynamic of the rich and the poor in a sense a capitalist society, and the film targets the issue of power dynamic when it comes to wealth. It shows how the rich exploits the poor, and it shows that the poor will go to extreme levels to make sure they survive, or even if it's moving just a little tiny bits upwards on this hierarchy of wealth and power. The movie also shows a lot of the time when you think about the parasite, who are the parasite in the movie, you would think of the Kim family, the poor family, because they are living off the rich. They're trying to, they're living off the rich by trying to scamming them. But in a way, if you think about it, the Park family are also a parasite that we don't see, and because it's technically they are a unconventional parasite. And what I meant by that is that although the Kim family basically scam the Parks exploit the lower class, exploit their desperation of needing, basic needs, money for basic needs to gain their kind of pleasure and stuff. In a way, I feel like a lot of us don't think of the Parks as parasites. It's because we are so used to the idea of a parasite is something that's only lower, the low life, the scum will do. But we forget that the rich are also basically a parasite too. And in the movie, you can see that the fight scenes in the movie is always between the lower class, not the high. There wasn't a battle between the higher and the lower. It was lower class versus lower class. In a way, that really relates to how in real life, where it's true, where the rich just get richer in a way. The rich has more resource. The rich has more resources to more opportunity than anyone, like a normal average person. They have a lot of connections, they have money. While the lower class, they don't have that privilege like the upper class, where they have all these resources open to them because of the connection, status, and wealth. The lower class, they really they don't have the money, They might have connection, but it's really rare in a way that a rich person would want to network with a poor person, and they don't have the money to try to bribe someone or anything, so they have to go into competition with the rest of the people. And this is represented even in that scene where the Kim family was fighting the husband and wife. That represents the society where the rich, they don't have anything. They don't have to worry about these stuff, but the poor has to fight the poor to try to at least get a spot of the limited spots to have a bit of a better life. And it's just sad. And the way how the director and stuff made the story, it was very hard to digest. It's one of those movies that's really hard to digest for me. And one thing I noticed, and also I read, in the beginning of the film, Min, which is one of the guy's friend, he gave the family this stone thing but he said that, it was a gift and it will bring wealth and stuff. I saw a comment on YouTube saying that they noticed that when the house was flooding, the stone floats, which indicates that the stone was fake. And this stone was basically, I guess, represents the hope of, I guess, wealth. And the son in the film always clinged onto this stone. And I'm assuming that this might represent, like, I guess, like that false hope of, like, anyone from the lower class being able to just get wealth. So because it's fake, so that means it's like, it symbolizes that it's not gonna happen. But when he basically dreamed about actually working hard, earning the money, and then being able to afford the house himself, and he's gonna buy it, there was a scene where he placed it into the little like pond / river, and in that scene the stone did not float, it sank like what actual stone should be doing. And that indicates that, like, in his mind his plan will work. Is that hope again. He will become wealthy, he's gonna be able to buy the house and all those stuff. But obviously the director basically snapped us audience back to reality as he ended up with the scene of him still remaining in the basement. And this really, it's just like, there's so much symbolizing in the movie that I'm just like, so much to process. I just feel so bad. Like, watching this movie, I was going through a roller coaster of feelings. In a way, I am so disgusted and horrified with the things that the family did. In a sense, I also understand, because it's just like, I mean, I come from a country where, like, there's a bunch of people trying to scam you. You know, like, your car could be parked and someone would just randomly lay in front of your car and said you fucking hit them. Like, no, I didn't. My car's parked. Stop. Get up. Go away. So, like, in a way, coming from a culture or country that does these kind of scams, I understand. And it's just like, I don't know, I just feel so bad for them, but still, like, horrified. Oh, and in the movie where the Mr. Park dude, where there was the stabbing scene, all the guests, because I'm assuming that all the guests that went there, apart from, like, you know, the Kim family, are rich people also, because, you know, rich people will be friends with rich people. When that guy stabbed the daughter, no one wanted to help, and they all just ran. Like, they just cared about themselves and just flee the scene. And Mr. Park, who then demands Mr. Kim to give him his key so he could take his family away, kind of thing, showing no care the people that work under him. The daughter got stabbed basically, and she's bleeding out, and he doesn't care, he just want to flee. We as humans, we are made in a way that we are wired to kind of have that selfishness, that we have to take care of ourselves and of our own first and other people. And in the movie where there was so much scenes, it just shows that the rich don't care about the poor, where, like, even in that storm, the storm impacted the poor so much, like the Kim family, where their house literally flooded and the flood could literally take everything from them away. But the storm for the rich is just like a little minor inconvenience that they had to cancel the camping and have to come back home and have a party at the garden instead. It's a very interesting movie, and it's a lot to digest. I feel like the movie just, like, crams in so much symbolization in it that you just kind of like, it's a decent movie, but at the moment I feel like it hasn't really made me feel life-changing in a way. It just really just kind of like reinforces the idea that capitalism is crappy. You know, where the rich stays rich and the poor just stay poor. And just this film just really shows that a lot of us, or people that belongs in a more lower hierarchy of the wealth status, we always have that kind of altruism and hope of that one day, if we work hard, if we do, you know, everything right, we do kind of stuff, we will find a way up, get up that hierarchy. And that's why we play lottery. Literally, that's literally why we gamble and stuff, because we have that kind of like hope in us. Maybe, just maybe, it will be our turn to become rich. And it shows in the movie where, you know, where the son has that kind of like dreamy kind of scene where, like, you know, he's like, I'm gonna go to uni, I'm gonna get a scholar, whatever, and I'm gonna get a job, I'm gonna like, you know, work hard and earn a lot of money, and I'm gonna buy that house. But then the thing is, in reality, it's just like, that's literally me, that's literally you. We kind of like, we go to uni, you know, thinking that, oh, I'm gonna try to become this, I wanna try to become that, you know, and I'm gonna like work hard and try to earn money and, like, you know, and live a good life. But the thing is, like, in reality, it's not that easy, and that's why the movie kind of snaps us back into reality, where he hasn't fulfilled that dream, that provision of his yet, and sadly there's a high chance he won't be. And it's just like, it will be most likely like us, like you and me, that we all have a dream. There's always this kind of goal we want to get to, and sometimes the reality is we won't get there, and it's fucking sad. And it's like, this movie just makes me feel like, Jin, sucks to be you know. And like, the saddest thing is that, like, I think like I'm a very like cynical person, or whatever, pessimistic if you want to call it. But I'm like a type of person, just like, I know that it's like, it's not gonna happen, you know, like, we have these big dreams, these big goals, but I know that's not gonna happen, because that's just realistic about it. You can work hard, and if you're lucky, and, you know, and you take opportunities and stuff, you might get there, but it doesn't guarantee it, because some people exploit you. This movie just reminds me of things I do not want to be reminded of. Like, I'm always aware that, like, that it's just gonna be so hard to remove yourself from this kind of like class upwards, unless, like, you know, you suddenly have a Jack Ma situation. I don't know, I'm just being very like sad now, so I'm just gonna end the video because my mind is just so now. So bye.